So this is the first lecture in a series of lectures on how to configure a switch. So the first thing you do when you configure a switch is create VLANs. So in this lab I'm going to create 3 VLANs that are very standard VLANs. There's a data VLAN for desktops and laptops, and there's another VLAN for servers, one or several servers, and another VLAN for wireless access points. And the idea of a VLAN is to create broadcast domains so you can manage the broadcasts so they're not being broadcast into other broadcast domains and creating a lot of additional traffic. So you're doing it really for performance reasons, and so that's primarily why you're doing it. And data VLANs is an example where often you'd find most of the VLANs defined because you want to limit the broadcast domain to a certain number of desktops per VLAN. So the first thing to do is I'm going to select the switch. Here I'm at the Cisco iOS command line interface. So I type config T for configure terminal. First thing I'm going to do is configure VLAN 10. So just type VLAN 10, and I'm going to name it data. Next thing I'm going to do is VLAN 11, and I'm going to name that server. And finally there's going to be a VLAN 12, and I'm going to name that wireless. It'll be for wireless access points. So at this point I'll type end. I'm going to go back to look at the running configuration. So I could type show running config, or show run will work as well. And here I've got a VLAN 10 data, and VLAN 11 is server, and VLAN 12 is wireless. So that's my 3 VLANs. I'm just verifying they're there and they were created, but they're currently unassigned to any switch ports. So I'm going to do a show VLAN brief. And here this tells me if they're operational. So they are in this case. There's 3 VLANs there. There's data, server, and wireless. And they are all active. So it's important to verify that they're active. But you'll notice they're unassigned to any switch ports. All switch ports by default are assigned to VLAN 1 for an unconfigured Cisco switch. So currently they're not assigned to any switch ports, but they are created. So the other thing you could do, another example, is show VLAN ID 10, for example. And that'll show you VLAN 10. It's just another command. So at this point I will type copy run to start. And that'll save the configuration to start up for the next time I restart the device. So that concludes the lecture. The next one I'm going to show you how to assign VLANs to access ports.